Welcome, Linux user. This is Haris Hassan from Agent IT Services. We're going to start in 5 minutes. Hello, Gally, and welcome. And we're going to start in 5 minutes.
Start. Other people are also waiting.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. This is Hassan from AGN IT Services, and this is another episode of our webinar series to uh, help you businesses to understand more about Zoho IT solutions, the issues that it solves for you, and the efficiency it can boost in your business. So, in today's episode, we're going to mostly focus on uh, one specific industry in UAE, which highly needs IT solution for their, sorry, for their business. So, let me share my screen and go directly to my slides. Right. What we're going to discuss today is the issues that businesses in construction and fit out industry face in terms of giving code to their customers, understanding what's going to be the exact cost or approximate cost of the service or the whole project. Because at the end of the day, some of them end up having some losses in some projects and having or not having enough profit margin as good as they expected. And we are here to exactly point out that main issue that the business is working for, increasing their profit margin, and also having a good insight and understanding of their overall operational operations to avoid any overcost, any leak, uh, anything that can damage their profit margin. So, uh, to understand the whole issue, I'm gonna just point out some major problems that every industry faces. But before that, let's have a look at our background and what exactly AG IT services do for the businesses, and why we are here to be frank. So most businesses use different kinds of CRM and different kinds of apps. Like for their bookkeeping, they use Zoho Books or Tally or other applications. But in most cases, they do not exactly know how to use these systems. Their staff don't know what is the function of specific modules and how to work with these applications. So our role in here is to first understand the business issues at the first place. What is their business process and in what areas they need help, which application they use, which application can suit them, which plan can suit them to just adjust their budget with their needs in terms of getting the application plan. In some cases, businesses spend more than they need on application plan where they don't need. And in some cases, they need one application, but they don't have the knowledge that which application exactly they need. So this is when our role comes in to understand their needs and their process and offer the applications they need and also configure, do the settings, and also train their staff to correctly use the system. We've had a good track of doing this for businesses in UAE and Saudi Arabia for various applications from CRM to Sales IQ, Zoho People, uh, Projects, Expense, and Zoho Books, just to name a couple of them. Now, back to the main topic, which was our main discussion, and that was understanding the business process in your organization, in your company, and offering a solution, an IT solution for you to just find your issue. Okay. Here I brought to just make the foundation for our discussion today. I have brought one workflow for every fit out and construction company where they start and where they end. I'm going to read out these steps because they are very important to understand and have the clarity of the overall business flow. In most businesses, you start with a lead generation, which is somebody that has potential to be your customer, and you receive them from lots of sources. It could be your website, it could be some WhatsApp message, a phone call, or it could be a referral from already existing customer, and they all come to you. And some of them are qualified to work with you, some of them are not. So the next step is the qualification. And after that, they specifically in fit out industry, there is a site visit required, doing an analysis, and you can guess that this analysis should be done by a professional so they can understand what was the exact need of the customer. And you probably send them a code or proposal after you see the site. You calculate the material you need, you calculate the uh, cost it's going to involve, and then you send them the proposal. With some back and forth, with negotiation and revision, you make a contract signing. And after that, the project starts. You assign tasks to your people, they go do the job, and after that you do the handover. And in some cases you do some after case activity and follow-ups. So why I'm explaining this? Most businesses have a problem in this site analysis section, meaning they do not have exact estimation of the costs gonna involve. Let me give you an example of, for example, CCTV installation. Let's say that we have two different buildings. One is a villa, the other one is an airport. And they have the same, they're gonna use the same material, they're gonna use the same number of cameras, the same number of staff hours, and they have the same area. Their costs not gonna be the same because the regulations in an airport is much more time consuming for you than a villa. And it's true for construction projects and fit out projects. What's happening is some companies miscalculate their staff hours, the material is going to be used, and give a low price for their customer in proposal quotation. And at the end, when it comes to handover, they do not make as much profit. And since they do not have any system to track down and write down their costs, in next project, they are completely blind. And here comes the role of Zoho Projects, Zoho Books, and Inventory to track down exactly what material you used, how many hours you spent on a project. So the next time you do a similar project, you exactly know how much you're gonna code and give proposal. So this is the main whole point of the whole webinar today, introducing you uh, the tools that you can use for giving a good price. Not very much, not very low, just a standard profit margin for your client to not lose any money. So to name some of the issues, let's start with disorganization. Disorganization means that you do not have a good track, your staff do not have a good track of activities they are doing. They do not log their hours anywhere. They do not write down the activities they're doing anywhere. And disorganization leads to miscommunication and among teams, resulting in costly delays and frustration on site. The next issue we have in businesses is the overrun. Project overruns often stems from poor planning, causing budget constraints and impacting overall project success, which is obvious. If your people don't know what to do on site, if they don't have a plan, which is divided into phase one, phase two, phase three, they're gonna do more than necessary, and they're gonna do one job again and again to just get the right result, and it causes inefficiency. Inefficiency in workflows creates waste in time and resources, limiting a company's ability to scale effectively. And this is another key point, scaling effectively. If you do not spend for your company's trackings, if you do not spend time and energy for your company's infrastructure to track the projects, you're not going to be able to scale. After 5 years, 4 years, 6 years, you're going to be at the same place that you were, for example, 5 years ago. Because scaling means more organization. Scaling means more planning and having a forecast, seeing the future. So, So in this slide, you can see a chart that shows you a report, and we discussed the manual processes, actually the inefficient processes. But uh, one of the key points of having systems like Zoho Inventory and Zoho Project is that you get rid of manual processes. There are good chunk of work that you can automate. So you don't need people sit down in front of a computer and filling out different forms and different pages. Most of the jobs that is required to organize your business can be automated and must be automated. And this is one of the goals of these applications, not to add to your work, but to reduce it and make it better, make it efficient. That's the reason these systems have millions and millions of users around the world. And so many businesses say welcome to them, to their company, spend energy and time to train their people, and from that point, they can easily scale their business. Now, system-driven growth, which is achieved by uh, completely and correctly implementing these systems. Uh, by systems, I mean Zoho Projects and Zoho Books and Inventory, is that you have a system-driven growth. You are not employing more and more people to expand your business. You're just simply make them more efficient, make the life easier for you, for them, and for your customer. Now, I've named some of the applications that are highly useful for these issues is CRM, Zoho CRM, Zoho Projects, and Zoho Inventory, and I'm gonna give a bit of description about them. In Zoho CRM, you can leverage Galabox to manage leads efficiently, ensuring no opportunity slips through the tracks during the sales. What is Galabox? Galabox is another application that helps you to share your business WhatsApp messages with people you want, for example, your salespeople, and they can answer the inquiries for different people at the same time. So it is not like traditional WhatsApp that you log in from your mobile phone. It has a website application that you can uh, make tasks for different people to answer different conversations. And what it is used for. Galabox with Zoho CRM helps you whenever a new customer someone interested reaches out to you. Doesn't matter from any source, either from your website, either they call you, either they message you on WhatsApp, box. Once they enter your CRM, you have complete track of the activity. So you're not gonna miss out on any chances or any opportunity. You can set up automations to be in touch with that person again and again and again. And nobody's gonna feel like that they reached out to you, but nobody followed out their inquiry. This is the beauty of CRM, that you no longer need to memorize or write down on Excel sheet or uh, write down on paper that who you're gonna follow up, who you're gonna call, who you're gonna prepare documents for. All can be tracked automatically inside Zoho CRM. Basically, you define steps and stages, you have your customer in those stages, and you just move them around. And in each stage, system exactly knows what email to send, what document to send. You do not need to prepare them manually. And in Zoho Projects, which later on I'm gonna show its environment to you, how to create a project and how to see your projects and tasks. You basically have a whole system, a complete system to manage everything about your projects. I'm gonna name just a couple of them that might be interesting for you. One of them is timesheet of your people. When you define a project and a task for someone, you want to know how many hours they spent on that task. And this is where CRM and Zoho Projects comes in. It comes handy if you want to know how long a project took, what was the budget that you estimated for that project, and how many tasks you had in that project, and how long they took, and how much it costs you, and what was your revenue from them. You can have absolutely any report from any angle you want from Zoho Project. And in Zoho Inventory, it gives you the opportunity to track down all of your finance beside with Zoho Books, all of your finance, as well as tracking the quantity of your items. So you basically enter your item data, your purchase orders, POs, and your sales orders, your invoices. Once they are in the system, it generates all the reports that a business owner needs to make decision. Without a clear data, without a clear insight, as a business owner, you cannot make any decision because decisions rely on correct reports, correct data. And sometimes lack of decision is worse than making any decision. Now, talking about alignment, we can say that you can improve overall alignment across your organization, enabling effective communication and collaboration for a more productive workflow. This basically means that if in your organization everybody has their own spreadsheet, their own Excel file, they're not going to communicate effectively. But once you put all your data into one single place and they all have to look at there, they don't have to communicate with each other to transfer those data, talk about those data because it's already there. Everybody knows what to do and everybody knows what's the next step. And we talked about efficiency as well, and which is very obvious. If you have these in place in your organization, everything gonna be super efficient. You don't have to talk with people for getting report. They're just gonna ask them to put the right input data into these applications, work with them correctly, and reports gonna be generated for you automatically. Nobody's gonna spend time on Excel sheets anymore. System gonna generate the reports automatically. And in uh, coming slides, I'm gonna show exactly to you what those reports look like. Now, This is just a couple of examples that in construction, business owners have some leakages. It could be the design, it could be the procurement or site operations that causes the leakage. And after all, at the end of the problem, it translates itself into lack of profit. So if you want to have a good planning, you have to have a good insight from the previous projects. This requires senior members. I know they are good at planning, at designing, because they've had a good amount of experience. They worked in so many projects and they exactly know what's going to happen. But you don't have senior members all the time, and when you want to expand, it's not going to be feasible to multiply those people. All you can do is just bring their experience into a system. And what is experience for a senior member? What is experience for someone? It is just the knowledge, the data, the experience you had from the past. And for your organization, if you uh, bring that experience into the system, then not only one person, but the whole organization can benefit from that experience. And it can translate itself into a good design and a good planning. And procurement is the another example. And on-site leakage, which always happens, especially if you don't track your inventory, you're gonna end up with lots of waste material, lots of waste hours, waste time, and it is no good for your profit. Now let's talk about team alignment a little bit. What is team alignment? If, as a business owner, you have to tell everybody what to do all the week, your team is not aligned. If you are not there, they're not going to work properly. If you are not there, they're not going to work efficiently. They're not going to know what to do. If that happens for you between you and team members, even the supervisors or their managers, it means that you have room to improve in your communication and team alignment. It means that people rely on you as a person instead of on a system. So here is where, again, having a system in place, having a project manager or a CRM comes handy for you to delegate that job to your system. And in the meantime, you can spend your time on uh, working on long-term vision of your business, thinking about 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and that this gives you that opportunity, that relief that you can now spend time on thinking high level instead of wasting your time to assign the similar tasks, the same tasks to people again and again and again. Now, specifically talking about fit out industry, uh, I want to point out about a little bit about the improvements that such system can bring to you. And we already covered this in previous slides, but I'm going to go into details a little bit. Let's say that you as a business owner in fit out industry want to give a quote to a customer. It's either that you do the job or you delegate the job to a manager or someone else. And they, from their experience, give a price to the customer. And that price is calculated based on the material is going to be used and the time it's going to consume. And having a system in place helps you to understand how much material and how much time you're going to spend on that site. Because as time goes forward, you have a track of previous projects and you don't even need to think. You just need to go back and see what did you do for a similar project in the past and give the similar price. Now, before moving to inventory, I want to take a minute and uh, listen to you if you have any question or if it was clear so far or if you need any explanation. I'm open to listen to your questions, and after 2 or 3 minutes, we're gonna go forward. You can also write down your questions in the chat section, and I will answer them at the end. Okay, now back to the rest of the presentation and our inventory section. Now, having an inventory for you, you can list all the materials that you are using in a business. Actually, you don't have to write them down one by one. You can import your data in bulk. And as you can see in this picture, which shows a couple of examples of items that a business can use in construction, like a safety helmet, a safety glove, and so on. And you can track how many of them you have at hand and what is the reorder level for them. And once they reach that, reorder automatically. And you can see that even for the act of buying and purchasing a small thing that can take a lot of time from you, you have automation option. And at the end, once you have a good implementation, real-time tracking for your stock, automated alerts, and cost efficiency is just the basic things that you're gonna get in the business. And here I show an example of how these systems can help you to collect the documents you need from your clients. You don't need to collect them manually or receive on your WhatsApp. You can create nice forms like this and ask them kindly upload their files instead of asking them on WhatsApp or email. Now, these systems can be connected to your WhatsApp, to your phone system, and all give you a VoIP solution, a telephony solution. And if your people call from their system, they can call from their system and it will keep a record of that call or activity.
Hassan,
Yes.
hello. Can we track material, labor, and subtractor cost separately?
Can you ask the question again?
Track material, labor, and subcontractor cost separately.
Yeah, definitely. You can separate them and track them differently. Exactly.
Okay.
And this shows your opportunities in different stages. For example, once an opportunity reaches your system, you might identify the decision maker first for that company. You send your proposal, and you can understand which of them are in negotiation or review stage. Meaning that when you enter your CRM, when you enter your system, you can see at what stage, how many money lands, sits, and how much job is to be done in the each of these stages. Now, going forward, here is where told you about the reports. These are just reports that can be generated for you. They are live. They are one-time setup. Your people don't need to waste time on Excel sheets to create such reports for you. Once you create reports with these systems, they're gonna be live forever, and you just need to input data for that project after project. So you will have full insight and control. Again, you have multi-channel communication with your customer with a mobile phone connecting a Zoho telephony solution, and also capturing the email you are sending to them in your CRM is another way to bring all your communications with them into one system. CRM helps you to automate your lead qualifications. Let's say that someone just messages you on WhatsApp or just messages you on your website. Sending an automated welcome message is the simplest act you can do. And if you do not have that in your organization, you have something to improve. There are many examples of sales automation, like assigning tasks to sales agents to follow up the opportunity and leads arrive to the system. That is also one exciting part of the Zoho CRM. And on the accounting side, also, you're going to have clear vision about your spending, your profit, and your payables, your receivables, all going to be generated inside Zoho Books. And of course, if you are already using another software, another system, then you want that system to be connected to Zoho if you are about to decide to come to Zoho. And the good news is that integrating with Zoho is possible and is one of the features that so many businesses work with, especially the bigger ones who need multiple systems. To just name some of them, Galabox, WhatsApp, and AI Sensei is some of the applications which are related to WhatsApp, and you can integrate them with Zoho. And this is an important slide that shows the importance of having a Zoho partner beside you to implement the Zoho CRM and Zoho projects and billings and all for you. The reason is not everybody is expert at everything. You might be an expert in your field, in your industry, and understand the sales cycle of your business, but having a system implemented in your organization, in your business, is a job for an expert to make sure to predict the future and give you a customized system that everybody can use and it's simple for your staff. The key features that I mentioned, some of them are expertise in configuring and customizing Zoho CRM, which is something that Zoho partner has and it can benefit you. If you're about to learn all these things from scratch, it's going to take so much time from you and the result might not be the same. The other one is assistance with integrations and third-party tool alignment, specifically where the coding and programming is required. And also when it comes to training, since a system is new to your organization, people gonna resist to any kind of change. And here comes the Zoho partners role again, because they can show people they have time to train them. Sorry. And the benefits you can get from this is absolutely saving time and cost, no mistake in the implementation, considering the future, unlocking full potential of Zoho CRM because so many people use Zoho CRM, but they do not use it correctly, completely, and that is waste of time and waste of money. And you're gonna get a continuous support. So at any time that you feel like that you need someone during a year to reach out to if any error happens, if any option you want to add, you have somebody to you have somebody that knows how to do that job. I brought here a case study with me that helps you to understand a business that started from place A to place B and improve their business by correct implementation. So this is a picture of before the Zoho CRM and before Zoho Projects. One is poor cost visibility. Data was fragmented across disconnected spreadsheets, emails, and paper records. This is a nightmare. This is a chaos for a business. You have to have one place centralized just to collect your costs. If you have people saving uh, their costs in different sheets, different Excel files, their personal messages, then you're not going to know how much the project costs you. Untracked labor, inaccurate labor hours, and uncontrolled overtime costs were rampant. And this basically means that you need a timesheet. And this was where this specific business was before having a system. The next issue they had was the inventory loss, wasted material. And the next one was poor cash flow, significant delays in invoicing up to 2 weeks, strained finances, which means that if you finish the project, finish the job, you must send the invoice immediately. If your people are busy, they cannot send the invoice. It means that your cash flow is under damage. And also waste of time, which is obvious for them. And this is the picture after they have the Zoho implemented. They had now a centralized project planning. They were tracking tasks and progress were monitored all the time. They had managed invoicing. Their vendor payments were all in one place and real-time cost tracking helped them to understand all the costs. And don't look into people and ask them and call them to understand all the costs. And inventory helped them to have a controlled material usage because now everybody had to record what they are using. And the uh, after phase was tracking on-site labor hours. So supervisors, managers, and CEO knew how many hours is exactly needed for each job. Now, saying all these, if you are interested to use these systems, the good news is that they are free, mostly up to 30 days. You can use them, you can have a look, and you can create an account for yourself to just see what's its environment or give it to your CTO, to your team members to have a look. And it has 30 days of free trial. And this is the roadmap to elite closing in that and such system. Now, this is again a workflow for CRM and giving you an idea that how the automation in the CRM works. For example, in the day 0, which somebody calls or sends message to you, you want a welcome email to be sent to them. And the next day, you want to have a kickoff call to understand their need. And in day 30, if they didn't come back to you, you need a check-in call to see how they are doing and if they are interested still and if they were busy and so on. The list goes so on, covering all the scenarios. Now, some of the documents that you can use in the Zoho CRM generated automatically is EOIs, expressions of interest, meaning that if you are making any contract with somebody, if you are making any kind of agreement with someone, those documents can be generated automatically by Zoho Projects and Zoho CRM. And at the end, if we have a look at Zoho CRM's pricing, you can see that beside from Zoho CRM's trial, these are the pricing with different features, and based on your requirements, one of these plans is suitable for you, and you can reach out to us to understand which of them. All right, we reached to the end of this webinar. I thank you for coming and taking time to listen to the material of this webinar. I hope it was useful for you. We're happy to help businesses to grow more, grow faster, and we had a good track of having such clients, which were very happy to have the courage to do the changes in their organization and scale from that point. You can feel free to reach out to us and have a communication, have a consultancy about your business and how these systems can benefit you and what is the suitable plan for you. We will be happy to have you in a meeting and we'll be happy to have you in our next webinar. Now I'm gonna turn to you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. I'm also checking the chat section for any question. Okay.
Question from a customer. Can we set budget limits and debt alerts if a project exceeds budget?
Can you explain again? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Can we set budget limits and debt alerts if a project exceeds its budget?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's say that as a business, you have a strict budget for a project, and if the costs exceed that point, that budget, that restricted budget, you need to be notified. An email can be triggered and to be sent to you that this specific project is spending more than it's supposed to. Yes, that's absolutely possible. Any other question?
No.
All right. Thank you everyone for attending to this webinar. I was glad to meet you and see you in our next one. Have a good day, you all.